0971. Call the office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. Rev-Up St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Our drive is brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
In moments of loss, finding comfort and support is essential. At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we understand that every life is unique, and honoring that life is our mission. Our dedicated team is here to guide you through every step, offering personalized services that reflect the cherished memories of your loved one. From traditional funerals to modern celebrations of life, we provide a range of options tailored to your family's wishes. Whether it's a simple service or an elaborate tribute, we ensure every detail is handled with care. Let us help you create a meaningful farewell, honoring the legacy of your loved one. To learn more about our services, call 758-452-2021 Castries, 758-454-9239 Viewfort. Visit us at www.ramballysfuneral.com. Rambali's Funeral Parlor, where memories are cherished and love is everlasting.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X. Welcome to Hard Drive for another week, another Monday. Today is the 24th of November. I am Andre Paul, and the co-host of Hard Drive, none other than the lovely Kina. Kina, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Andre Paul. How are you doing today? Welcome back.
Yes.
In the hot seat.
Yes. Both of us.
Yes.
Both of us. Yeah, and by the time I get up and you come and sit, it's literally hot, right?
Oh yeah. And also want to say good morning to Linda and the team over at DBS as well. Thank you so much for partnering with Rev-Up St. Lucia to bring this message across to everyone viewing on DBS television. We appreciate you. Kisses to you and your team.
Yeah, and folks, let me just put out Kina's business here. I have to put out a little business.
My business?
Yeah, put out a little business. Let me put out a little business. Last week, Kina brought me something that was so nice. She brought me something that was so nice. I think the last time I had that was when I was about 10 or 11 years old.
Oh, that business.
And let me tell you. So now you can relax now, Kina.
I was always relaxed because there's nothing that I'm doing, you know. I'm serious.
Yeah, right. Even your hair was standing on edge.
You think? Did you see it happen?
You didn't realize that.
Oh my word. Okay, let's carry on.
So the last time I had that particular thing, I'll tell you exactly what it is in a minute. That thing was like loaded with sugar, a lot of sugar, and very little of the other thing that I love so much, right?
Which one? What I gave you?
No, I'm talking about the last time that I had it.
Oh, right.
Back in the day. It was more sugar than the real thing.
Okay.
Now
we're talking.
Yeah, but with Kina, I must admit, boy, it had a lot of the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so just in case you wonder what I'm talking about, it is peanut brittle.
Oh, my favorite.
So Kina gave me about, 4 of those? Yeah, about 4 of those. So I must admit, it was 95% peanut and 5% sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
that's how I like it.
It wasn't too sweet.
It wasn't too sweet.
But seriously, it really had a lot of peanuts.
That's how I love nuts on the whole. And one thing my mom always did for us back in the day, she prepared everything that we love, whether it be peanut brittle, whether it be mango jam, whatever it was, my mom did it. So it was always readily available when we wanted to eat it. So for me, every time I want something, like some people sell a peanut brittle for like $1.25 or $2. A can of nuts is like 11 something.
And
you know
is it anywhere near what the number of nuts you have in that thing? The ones that you buy?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah,
because the sugar is just a little bit of sugar that you use, just water and nuts. So I got technically, if I were to go buy what the amount that I made, because I gave away. So from that can, I got like over 30. Yeah.
And Kina, bravo. It had a lot of peanuts in it. I like to tell you, I haven't had
happy you enjoyed
peanut brittle like that in a long time. And I ate all.
Time.
Yeah. Sorry, my friends. couldn't have shared. I imagine when I'm eating the thing, it took me back
to your
back in the day when I was actually eating this thing. That was such a nice experience.
Oh, that's good that you actually were transported back.
Yes,
to
yes,
that
yes.
time.
With
So
each morsel. Like what?
And
Boy?
the cravings continue. That's what happens when you have peanut brittle. It's like you just have that, especially when it has more nuts than sugar. Yeah.
Yeah. But Back in the day when we used to have the what do they call it? Cheese
sticks?
Not cheese sticks. What is
Guava
that again?
cheese?
Guava cheese.
Oh,
yeah, guava cheese. I used to be knocking.
I love guava cheese, especially when it's a bit darker.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
we would leave, say it's lunchtime, because in those days, you can get everything close by, your family selling those things.
Oh, yes.
And we'd leave for lunch and make sure we go there. And that used to be our dessert. Or should I say lunch? And then we had dessert for lunch.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, so it just brought me back to all those nice days.
That's good to have.
Yeah, so that's just
The
a
only
cool
thing I can't make, Andre, is I can make tamarind ball, but just the feeling of rolling that tamarind ball and stuff, the glue, I don't think anything
Really?
that I hate my hands.
Yeah, so who else did you share the peanut brittle with?
Snow.
You gave Snow peanut brittle?
Snow
is
and
a
some other
spoiled-
individuals.
A spoiled human being.
Yeah, Snow loves. Well, you see, again, whatever I eat, Snow eats in the house. If I eat carrot, she eats carrot. If I eat corn, she eats corn. Whatever I eat, if I eat broccoli, she eats broccoli.
Some dogs don't want to eat those things,
No,
huh?
she eats whatever I eat.
Yeah. Some dogs will not eat vegetables. What are you
And
talking
even though
about?
I try not to give it to her, sometimes she would really cry for it, that kind of thing. But I know she didn't eat that many. Yeah, so I break it apart and give her. Then she goes on timeout, goes get some water to drink. And she knows what to do, right? When she's done with the peanut brittle, she knows, okay, I need some agua.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Because you have
Yes,
sugar there, and you
yeah.
have the nuts. Yeah. Now a lot of us, when we feel that way, we tend now to drink a soft drink.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, let's try, right? Let's try. We're about to end 2025. We're going into 2026. When you are thirsty, the best thing to drink is H2O.
Oh, yeah.
Plain
Oh, yeah.
water. To not even coconut water, because coconut water has a certain level of quote unquote sugar inside there as well.
Yeah.
It doesn't quench your thirst. So the best thing is to drink water, right? And especially for us men, where the prostate is concerned, we need to be consuming a lot more water because you're giving your prostate more work to do when it has to, get rid of the pee. You're giving your prostate a lot more work. So when you see you go and you stand there, in less than half a second, that thing's like a pipe. Chee! You ever see the one of us who stand there and have to wait for about 30 seconds?
I don't watch guys urinate, but I get what
before
you're
that
saying.
comes out, about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No, it's supposed to be like almost immediate. Since you go use lawi anuale.
And the same applies to women as well. You don't have to go and be waiting. And sometimes I know some individuals, they go to the washroom and they sit on the toilet bowl and nothing comes out.
Oh, as for that one.
As for that, we need to be more mindful of what we put into our bodies as well.
So moving forward, and I've said so already, in terms of the good gut health, we have to be consuming stuff that has a lot more fiber, okay? And let's drink a lot more water, especially we, the men. We have to protect that prostate. All right, otherwise we'll continue having these issues with our prostate, enlarged prostates and so on, and then we can't pee now. That thing just gets because it grows. It grows. It blocks it leans against the urethra, and the urethra is that's the conduit for the pee to come out. So once it becomes enlarged, it kind of squeezes, and then now it's not free.
It's not free to.
So
flow.
and let me tell you, I saw my grandfather had the prostate issue. And I remember, because he was always on his own vibe. You don't get involved in his business kind of thing. But of course we loved him and we cared. And I remember he was he hadn't come out of the room for a day, right? That kind of day kind of thing. He didn't come out. And then the following, we know he's there because he's there snoring, but he was in the room. So the following day, my grandmother went to check and see what's going on, because I said, he's always on his own vibe kind of thing. And when we went to check, we saw his the groin area, that had become like like a little mountain.
Ooh.
Yeah, the thing was it's like it was growing like a little it was
swollen.
getting swollen and so on. And then we asked him what was going on. Now he didn't know what was going on. And funny enough, for the first time I saw my grandfather was crying.
He was in pain.
He was in pain. But he was a tough guy, and he always liked to give you the impression as though he's tough and he can manage things and so on. So we knew at that point there's something was wrong. He was actually crying.
Ouch.
So of course, we took him to the hospital and so on. And then of course they had to drain it and the usual catheter and this and that and the other. It had a nice feeling.
But we all know what to do. We've been told that from childhood. Consume more water, eat a healthy, balanced diet, eat your leafy greens, your vegetables, stay away from sugars. Our parents and grandparents taught us so many things back in the day. But I'm not quite sure if it's because of the lifestyle that we live. Fast-paced, we're always on the go. So it's quicker to reach for something that we feel is either going to give us that high, or when we're stressed, we reach for something that, okay, we figure, oh, that's going to give me that high. That's going to take me into that space because I love that and it makes me feel better. But as we've been saying for a while, your health is your wealth. And you have to be very, very mindful what you put into your body. The other thing as well, some people have a tendency to judge individuals that are either really skinny or those that are overweight, either thinking that individual is not eating healthily, or the other individual that seems to be overweight is consuming a lot. But there are so many different factors that come into play. Health conditions are some of the conditions that cause someone to be extremely skinny. Sometimes that person's metabolism is extremely high as opposed to someone else, and someone else who's heavier might have a medical condition as well. So we judge a lot and we don't know the situation. The most important thing that one should do, if you do not know the facts, you focus on yourself. What are you going to do for the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks leading up to, the end of year into 2020? And as you rightly said, let's be more mindful with our water intake. Continue to consume more water because it helps. Even when we're hungry, the first thing sometimes we think, okay, I'm hungry, I need food. But sometimes you might be thirsty in your body saying, I need water, but you're reaching out for something to consume as opposed to going to drink some water. And after you drink the water, sometimes you're not even hungry anymore.
Okay, so, little by little, we shall be continuing our little messages where our health is concerned. So, anything you want to mention before we move on?
Oh, Kanye West is back in the news.
What's wrong?
He didn't do anything. It's just what he says, and I think so many people can relate to it, Andre. He said he he pretty much says there's something inside him that he's been keeping for a while, and he didn't ask to be part of life. He doesn't want to be here. Like, life is just too much for him. It's too much. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. He says he regrets participating in life, reflecting on everything that he's gone through, his personal
Where was he speaking, by the way?
He was I think he was being interviewed by a media person, and he just kind of said it.
Funny, I haven't come across that at all.
That happened recently.
Okay.
Over the weekend or so on. And he said he just regrets participating in life.
Wow, that's almost like suicidal.
Not necessarily. I think it's him being honest with himself, because we're young, we're with our family, our parents. They don't tell us what happens after we leave their homes. If you grow up in an environment that's extremely toxic, there's a lot of physical abuse. But if you grow up in an environment that is sheltered, most parents will generally tell us, hey, when we go out into the world, this is what you're going to experience. You're going to experience people that are mean. You're going to be on the job. You'll have sleepless nights, and so many things are going to happen. And on top of that, you will deal with intense period of loneliness for some individuals. There'll be periods of struggle. You just don't know. So I think he was dissecting what life for him is. And I think many of us, if we really have to think about it, hey, gosh, I wish I had another way to do life. Because so many things are happening and so many things come at you. By the time you leave your parents' home, oh my gosh, you're cooking now. You have to do your own laundry for some individuals. And so many other things come into play that our parents don't really prepare us for the world. And it feels heavy for so many individuals.
Yeah, one of the things I think we should be telling our offspring, I think it's extremely important, is a piece of advice that Jesus Christ gave, right? I will not quote Jesus Christ, but basically what he was saying is this: of all the things that we could do, right, all the bad things we could do, one of the worst, and folks, we have to be careful with that because we do it a lot. And here it is: the worst thing, or one of the worst things you could do, is to hurt somebody deliberately.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, when we hurt people deliberately, and we do it a lot, the first consequence of that is the guilt that overcomes. Boy, that thing just takes over at some point in time there, because you're not supposed to operate like that.
No.
So you start to feel guilty, you feel bad, and then now you have to deal with the karma of your action now, because you have now started a process that cannot be reversed. Yes, it's true, the impact, you can probably, reduce on the impact, but you can bet your bottom dollar this thing's going to come back at
It's
you,
going to come back.
right? Because you have now committed an act, and that act
Against another human being.
exactly, and because you're hurting somebody. I can't stress that enough, because I can speak from my personal experience where I have done that sort of thing when I didn't know any better. All right, and the impact of that, when the consequences finally catch up with you, you remember. You actually remember what you did, and the same thing or even worse happens to you. So that's one of the things I'm just saying: be careful, right? Because sometimes our hurts and our pain as a result of our own actions. And they make us feel hurt, they make us feel depressed, right? Now, let me just mention a couple of little things. And that's why the government in general, they really have to take a look at this issue. This issue of old age, right, as to how people in our society who are old, right, so we call it old, how we treat those people, and also people with disabilities, as to how you treat those people. Now, I know we talk about Sodom and Gomorrah and how it was about homosexuality. Yes, that was part of it. But Sodom and Gomorrah had more issues going on there. And their problem was the way that they were treating the most vulnerable in their society. They were not nice to the most vulnerable. And God said, I'm going to judge you for that. Of course, they said there were the other issues, but the Bible is written in such a way, it's called here a little and there a little. So you have to dig. You have to dig here and there and see what you can come up with. And I've realized now that it wasn't just only the issue of homosexuality. There are other things taking place there, much more important things, like the way we treat the most vulnerable. Now, I was talking to a lady with a disability, and she told me that she's almost at her end. Okay? And she says she sees no point in being here anymore. That's one. I spoke to a guy who's probably a little older than me, maybe a little older than me, and it's the same thing. He says, I'm asking myself, what am I doing here? I'm here. I'm just useless. And these are people, and they tell you I'm serious about what I'm saying. Now, obviously, I try my best to tell them
to offer encouragement.
Yeah, that's not the way, and whatever. But then again, I can't know exactly what it is that they're going through. So I'm just saying this for the policymakers, right? Those of you who are in a position and you're making it difficult, or maybe you just simply don't care for the well-being of people with disabilities and people who are old in our society, right? Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful with that. We need to start making those people feel important. Now, I've been saying so to our current Prime Minister. I said so to the last Prime Minister that we had, and I mean, in interviews I've had with them.
Yeah.
You're not doing sufficient for older people. All you'll want to do is tax them. Okay? And there's some people that feel it's justified because there's some people, obviously, when they get their pension, they have different sources, so they're raking some good dollars because they had big jobs back in the day. So they're quick. Governments are quick to tax them because they figure as though, you can't be making all that money as a pension and think you're going to get away with it.
But not everyone is on the same spectrum. Not everyone was making big money, as you rightly said. And it's important for us to protect the most vulnerable amongst us. And God speaks of that. The Bible speaks of it. And how you treat the most vulnerable in your country is how God is going to bless that country.
That's correct.
And it starts with us as individuals. A lot of the times, and rightly so, Andrea, I knock on wood, I admire that. And we as individuals can do better for the most vulnerable in our midst. Someone is on a wheelchair, they're about to enter a building. Can't you open the door? Can't you treat the person with kindness? Someone in your office has a medical condition, whether it's an invisible illness or not. You know the person is always sick. Why are you still being mean? Why are you going to work with conditions that you know that's going to impact that person's health and make that person worse? Children can't do for themselves. You're an adult, so they're not able to take care of themselves, to feed themselves. God put you in this world, you're now an adult, to pass on what you're taught, the good things that is, and to take care of the most vulnerable. Why are you insulting this child? Why are you belittling this child? Why are you abusing this child? Why are you neglecting this child? Because that child is going to grow up to become an adult, and during that process from childhood to adulthood, the tension they feel, the fear they feel, the pain they go through on a daily basis, and yet we wonder what's happening in our country. We are the cause of it. We the ones creating the pain that others are going through. Our neighbors, our siblings, our co-workers. And every time I think about it, it brings me close to tears because many people in our country are suffering.
And I'm glad that you made that point there. They're looking at some pensioners who are making a fairly decent pension.
That's just a few.
Because they have multiple sources. So what they do now, they tax them. They tax those people. And I think it's only under this administration. I did not even know that. I didn't know that until maybe about 2 weeks ago, that pensioners were still being taxed. So because now they're taxing those who are making the better pensions, so it's only until recently, I think this administration stopped this.
I'm happy they did.
I'm happy about that too, as well, right? Because you have to treat. Yes, I understand that those that make a fair amount, and I can understand that. But some have to be exempt.
Yeah,
some have to be exempt. And I want to make that point. Let me just use the opportunity, Kina. I hope those folks at the NIC that they're listening, right? My brother died. Okay, it's one thing. Okay, fine, he died, and we as his family are not entitled to get all what he contributed. I understand that. I certainly understand. But what if my brother had a small child, okay, or 2 or 3, right? That child, if he was entitled to say $1,000, I'm just saying if he was entitled to $1,000, that child would now be entitled to $500.
That's not enough.
This is not right.
It's not right.
Not enough. It's not right. The child should be entitled to the full amount.
Yeah.
The full amount. Because what you're doing now, you are helping to perpetuate poverty and you're putting the most vulnerable under unnecessary stress. What if he had three kids? So now they have to share $500. Think about that. So I don't know what's up with the board there, the NIC. Do you all constantly need somebody like the Prime Minister to come and give you a little fine and if your backsides, right? My gosh, man, think outside the box. This is not right. This is not right. And also, if they have a wife, I think the wife gets a certain percentage. She doesn't get everything either.
Doesn't get everything, a percentage.
That cannot be right. And I heard, the people who always there want to defend the NIC when it comes to those kinds of things, saying, oh, we have to be careful because down the line. At the end of the day, listen, if my brother were alive, right, he'd be collecting his pension if he were alive. So why can't his offspring, I'm not talking about extended family, his offspring, if he had, I'm just using my brother as an example, why couldn't his child collect the full amount? What's the problem with that? Because if he were alive, he would have been collecting it.
He would still be collecting.
So I'm saying in a case where you have the most vulnerable, I'm talking about the children, you have to make an exception in that case. It cannot continue like this. Yeah. And I hope the Prime Minister is listening. I hope the opposition is listening to go and tell those people that, because it seems as though they can't seem to think, past their vision, or however far that vision reaches.
And sometimes you said something earlier. A lot of the times we wait. We have positions. We apply for positions within governmental bodies, and we are there. And some people just sit there. They just sit there and they get a paycheck.
Yeah,
that's it. But where are the incentives? What are you doing? Aren't you seeing is your main focus just getting some money at the end of the month for a period of time that you are there. And that's where you need to put things in place, measures in place that could help alleviate so many things that people that you're going through.
So much suffering.
There should be that.
So governments now, whoever's going to form the next government, please, I'm asking you to please take a look at that. That's one. And the issue of those people who have the disabilities, I'm telling you, right? I mingle with those people. When I say mingle, I talk to them, right? And when you meet those people, you ask them how things with you, and they tell you what they're going through. It's not easy. They gave a story. A couple of ladies, who were here a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week? I remember exactly when. And they were saying about a child who has cerebral palsy. The child is now 30 years old. The main breadwinner has died. Okay? And the wife now, she's unemployed. And she has to take that boy, right, everywhere she goes, including going into the restroom, which happens to be a pit toilet in that particular case. You have to take him inside there with you. You know what I'm saying? That should not be happening in our society.
The authorities are aware of that situation and nothing was done to help this mother. That's very shameful, no matter which party it was that was in office.
But that's just one, Kina. What I'm saying, systems have to be put in place to take care of those with disabilities, right? You have something set up taking care of people with disabilities. So these people have to be at least stressing themselves out a lot more to get assistance, to get help. Something has to be set up for them. That's number one, right? Then you have those who are old people. And generally when you're old, you're sick. Okay?
But they're saying that there's systems put in place for individuals of that sort. But when you do hear them come on the radio and speak of the challenges that they're going through, that says something else. So it means that the system put in place is not working.
It has to be improved.
And it has to be improved.
It has to be improved. Okay? Because remember, as we said earlier, right? We are a Christian society. At least that's what we say. We are a Christian society. And we have to go according to what that Bible says. And it says that God is concerned about the most vulnerable. All right? When Jesus Christ had the little children around him, the disciples thought that they were doing him a favor by telling him, move from there. I mean, I'm just putting it, lad, in 21st century language in St. Lucia. Kind of thing. Christ said, no, leave them alone.
Yes.
Leave them alone, right? Let them come to me. And Jesus Christ blessed them. He blessed them. He didn't shoot them away. And let me mention something else too. The way we treat our stray dogs in this country, or stray animals in this country. Okay? You have people throwing hot water on them, things like that, because yes, I know sometimes they can be a nuisance, but they're just trying to survive.
And sometimes the animals don't really do anything. I've seen videos of individuals taking stones and just killing stray dogs
or pelting stones after them.
Come on,
you ever see a dog sometimes walking and it's just all legs just limping, all legs, because they've been broken so many times. These animals just trying to survive.
They can't
now
help themselves.
If you put aside your garbage properly, if it's properly managed, no dog is going to come into your yard. It's because you're not managing the garbage properly. No dog comes into my yard.
No dogs come into my yard.
Exactly. I manage my garbage properly. That's it. So you have to be taking hot water, throwing on a poor cat that can't defend itself, on a dog that can't when you burn it like that with the hot water, what do you think is going to happen?
Exactly. The pain that animal has to go through.
It's terrible. I saw a cat one time in La Clery, and somebody had burnt it, with hot water. And that cat was in pain. You could hear the cat. It's like it's moaning. Now, I have some olive oil, which I think olive oil is like oh my God, that thing just works miracles. Okay? I quickly went home to take the olive oil, and to pour on the wound. Boy, let me tell you something. The cat ran away so fast. It didn't trust me. Yeah, it didn't trust me to try to help it at all. I'm just will take the thing just to pour on the wound. Yeah. And boy, that thing just scampered. I felt sorry for it. Yeah. But I understand where the cat is coming from.
And just imagine, that's an animal doing that. Just imagine a human being going through any form of abuse. And the pain that they feel on a daily basis, and just being afraid to interact with others.
And we'll get to that, We'll get to that in a minute, because it's a serious story from Trinidad and Tobago of abuse, at a home for children. And I read about that thing happened, I think, in the decades ago. And to hear what the the victims of that thing are going through. I mean, I couldn't keep up with it. It's terrible. But before that, we want to mention the fact that one of our great singers from the Caribbean, most of Jamaica, Jimmy Cliff, he died. I believe he died today. I'm not too sure. When I read the story this morning, it didn't say when he died, but he died age 81. Great singer.
Great singer.
Can't get away from that.
But he's released that.
Right. I never had a chance to meet him, to be honest with you.
He was in St. Lucia recently, sometime last year, I believe.
Oh, he was? What, a jazz festival or something?
No. I'm not quite sure. Maybe he paid a courtesy visit sometime last year.
I think so, now that you mention that.
He met with the Prime Minister and some other ministers of government. He was here last year. You said this, and all I remember is just Many Rivers to Cross.
Oh, so many beautiful songs from this guy.
Night.
He's made his
so
contribution, man. Huge success. You can't get in Jamaica, across the globe, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, there's so much we can say about Jimmy Cliff. As a young boy, a young man, when I first got interested in broadcasting, I remember there's an album that he had. And one of the songs in the album was My Love Is As Solid As a Rock. I played it just before 9 o'clock this morning. Yeah, and that was popular from the album. He had another song called Music Maker. That was another big one again from that same album. And of course, he had things like Born to Win, Fundamental Reggae. I mean, you can get it if you really want it. How Did They Come? I mean, there's just so many great songs by this guy, Jimmy Cliff. Wow, boy. Wow,
and
bravo.
songs that really speak to you, that inspired you as well, just listening to it.
Yes.
The two that stands out for me, Many Rivers to Cross and Reggae Night. My mom would be playing that.
Yes, that's another big one again, Reggae Night.
And waking up on Saturdays was especially special for me. Because you're waking up, it was really special for me, waking up on a Saturday morning and hearing my mom playing Jimmy Cliff in the background.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony playing some old school. Yeah.
He too would have so much to say on Jimmy Cliff's
Oh, yes,
passing
man. Oh, yes. If you were hearing that seat there. Man. Wow. I think if God is judging people not by sins and this kind of thing, right? Not that I'm talking about. I'm just talking about your contribution when you're here on the planet. And we're all here to make a contribution.
Yeah.
A positive contribution, right? I might add. God is probably looking at a guy like Jimmy Cliff and saying, not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And of course, there's so many others. Because from the time I know Jimmy Cliff, I had never heard no Roro. Was involved in any drama.
Never heard anything.
Or anything like that. Now, interesting, I do not know whether he was married, like, the legal setting, a church and this and that, the other.
Never heard anything.
Let me tell you, yes, what's interesting, listen to what I read this morning. I think they said his wife, she issued a statement, and her name is Latifah Chambers. That's her name.
Chambers.
Okay, so I don't know if maybe Jimmy Cliff is a stage name or something. I'm not sure now that I read it this morning, but they said a message from his wife, Latifah Chambers. He has 2 children, by the way. He has 2 children. And she said that it's with a profound sadness that I share that my husband, and she called him Jimmy Cliff, unless that's his name, I don't know, his real name, has crossed over due to a seizure followed by pneumonia.
Oh.
Now, pneumonia is the thing that kills old people. I can tell you that.
Yes.
Yeah, so, boy, I mean, very few people come out of that
Very few people
alive.
come out at that age.
Yes, at that age there. It's usually the killer of old people. Wow. And 81, you're all the way up there. You're all the way up there.
Well.
And she says, I'm thankful for his family, friends, fellow artists and co-workers who have shared his journey with him. To all his fans around the world, please know that your support was his strength throughout his whole career. Jimmy, my darling, may you rest in peace. I will follow your wishes. So apparently he told her a few things before he left.
And even just hearing what you just read, I think a few years ago, he was doing an interview with Sandy Kane, and he was saying that when Bob Marley started, coming out and so on, he took a back seat because he knew how talented Bob Marley was. So he took a back seat to allow, because he had done so much already during that time, and people had known who he was. So he kind of stepped away pour a little bit to allow Bob Marley to shine. And that takes a lot because there's competition everywhere.
That's right.
You know, you always want to compete and be the best version of you and don't allow other people to take that shine. But him doing that speaks wonders of about his character.
Remember Johnny Nash, I Can See Clearly Now? That's my favorite version of I Can See Clearly Now.
Oh, really?
But boy, Jimmy Cliff has a...
He has a...
his version is good. Yeah, I Can See Clearly Now. He did that. You can get it if you really want it. Wonderful World, Beautiful People. That's another one again. There's just so many. So many
songs that he had.
So many. He was also in a film called The Harder They Come. I saw that.
I think I can't remember everything about that film, but I remember it.
Yeah, I saw that. But as I said, all through the years, I've never heard any drama surrounding him and his family or himself. And by the way, he was one of the few musicians to be awarded the Jamaica Order of Merit.
Well deserved.
Yeah, Brother Bob and others got it as well, but he's one of them, Jamaica Order of Merit. Yeah, when you're doing well in a particular field, right? When you're excelling in that field, you ought to be honored. Don't look at it as though you have to wait for somebody to come and recommend you and things like that. Those committees doing those things, they should just know, right? Okay, you have like a Marcellus Miller or Dubois or I don't know. There's so many of them, right, in the broadcasting industry. I'm just using broadcast as an example. Don't wait for somebody to come and tell you, hey, don't forget this person. You know, they've made a contribution. Right, a very valuable and meaningful contribution to that particular field, and they should be honored.
I agree.
Right, and it's not happening in our country, unfortunately. All right, okay. The Ministry of Health sounding the alarm as we enter what they said the most active months of the flu season, and it runs from October to March next year. And they say with respiratory infections increasing, officials are encouraging residents to take immediate precautions. We had the medical surveillance officer, Dr. Dana Gomez, giving advice and so on. And usual thing, wear a face mask, and if you have the flu or whatever, right? Don't just be sneezing in your hands and go and shake somebody's hand. That's yesterday.
Imagine we have to say
yesterday I washed my hands, right? I got home and I washed my hands yesterday, and I was going outside to do something, and a partner saw me, and he came there. He stretched out his hand for me to shake his hand. I don't do that very often. I said, sorry, partner, I just washed my hand there. Sorry about that. Sorry.
He must have been thinking, okay,
yeah, sorry about that, partner. I just washed my hands there. So yeah, so I gave him a little fist bump.
It's also, and if you can't do it, give an invisible hug,
or something like that,
or something of that sort, because health is a collective responsibility, Andre. And it takes all of us. So we have to take it seriously, listen to the guidance from medical professionals, and prevention now can prevent serious illnesses later. Because we also have individuals amongst us that's the most vulnerable with certain conditions. So you might think, okay, it's just a flu for me. I'm good. I could bounce back. But there are other individuals in our midst with chronic illnesses that will not bounce back from it, that will take them down for weeks, even months. Children as well. So
babies.
We have to be very
right?
mindful. Yeah,
babies in particular. Older folks.
Older folks, yes.
So we have to think about those things and do our best to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of ourselves. That's the first thing. That we do the right things. We eat well. We drink well. We rest. Things like that, and don't put ourselves in vulnerable positions. Right. I remember I was going up north I was playing someplace, I won't say where, and I was outside chilling in my vehicle, and a guy was there peeing. I made myself sneeze probably about 10 times, and every time he puts his hand, hatcham, and you could tell he was really, you could hear it in the sneeze that he had a bad case of the flu or something.
It may have been.
Yeah, and I'm watching him. And that's the thing we don't know. So I came out of my vehicle and I'm about to go upstairs, and he comes up to me to come and shake my hand.
Boy.
I tell him, partner, I was just watching you there. I was just watching you there.
You were honest.
Yeah, I just but you. Sorry, partner. Sorry about that. Yeah. Now imagine if I hadn't seen him.
Yeah, would just shake his hand.
So I have to deal with two things.
Oh my word.
Or what would I have to deal with? He was peeing at the time. That's one.
Jeez,
and he was sneezing.
You just
simultaneously.
never know what the person who's coming to you did before.
Exactly. Let me tell you, that's a scary thought,
It's very, very scary. Not everyone is like us.
What?
You might be very, very careful, washing of the hands, sanitizing, and so on. And some other person is just not. They're very careless.
That's correct. And most of us are that way.
A lot of individuals don't realize the simplest things. You might have a cut on your hand and think, I'm good. You go somewhere, there's bacteria on that surface, that cut is exposed to that bacteria, and boy, a hospital bill and hospital visits because you've gotten something that you do not know what it is.
Another thing that we do, sadly, is that especially if we don't monitor our children, sometimes we tell our children what to do, and most times they don't really listen. They'll try to get away with whatever they can get away with. That's just the way children are. So when they finish using the toilet, they finish doing number 2. Okay, we need to check on them. We need to ask them, did you wash your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and adults who don't do it.
Oh my word!
Yeah, I mean it's bad enough when the kids don't do it. Imagine an adult. You're leaving a restroom. You've done number 2. You don't wash your hands, and you're coming now and shaking people's hands. You know how much?
Or you're coming now and preparing food.
Exactly. This is.
H. pylori spreads that way. If you don't know, St. Lucians, please do some research on H. pylori.
Yeah.
So yeah, that says a lot.
These things are spread through feces and so on. That's not a joke, folks. This is serious business. So as I said, had I not seen the guy doing number 1 and then sneezing, and I don't know, and I say I just arrived, the guy comes there in a gesture of friendliness. Normal thing I would do is shake his hand. Mm-hmm. And then imagine now, say I'm just finished shaking his hand,
and you wipe your face.
and I touch my face, I touch my lips, I touch my tongue or something like that for whatever reason.
That's kind of scary.
So the old saying about what you don't know can't hurt you, that's not true.
It does hurt you.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about that situation there in Trinidad. Okay, folks, back in the day, I don't have the exact year, but right now 5 men are suing the state, right? Mm-hmm. And also a children's home. And that home was run by the Roman Catholic Church back in the day. And what they're asking for, I found that it was like not even much money, $2.5 million. That's not enough. That's $80. Okay, so they were at that home back, I think they say between 1986 and 2005. That's when they were there.
That's recent.
So apparently while they were there, whoever was responsible for protecting those boys, at least one person in there abused them. Okay? And apparently maybe this person abused them over a period of time. And maybe not simultaneously, but one now, one the next time, and so on, so on, so on. So here's a person now who has that issue, and they are in that home, and they're now taking advantage of the fact that they have that power, if you will, the power now to wield on those boys, which they should have been protecting. That's why I go back to the point when I said we shouldn't do things to hurt people deliberately. So here's an act where you're doing something to deliberately hurt those little boys there, right? And of course now these boys have now grown, okay? And listen to some of what they're complaining about. And imagine I didn't even include all of what they were complaining about. I left out some of it. All right? Okay, according to the claim, the 5 men are suing for continuing trauma, bouts of aggression towards others, learning disabilities and low educational development, incomplete secondary school education and or stunted educational development, loss of employment and future employment opportunities due to an inability to interact and or collaborate with others, multiple attempts to commit suicide, participation in criminal activities such as minors due to negative influence and coercion from adults who had access to them through the homes. So what they're saying is that those people were actually encouraging them in criminal activity at the home. That's what they're saying there. All right? Bouncing head, bouncing between various state institutions. So they're in one institution, they take them and put them in another one, and sometimes they abuse multiple times. Okay? Arrests, and imprisonment throughout the adolescence and early years, and treatment for psychiatric illness. That's just some of what I came across. There was just so many. There's so many. Now, you see the lingering effects of that kind of abuse.
That's so painful to actually listen to, and individuals doing that sort of stuff. The person you're doing it to lives with the consequences for decades. Sometimes, if they don't even survive it, they commit suicide, because by the time you start doing that, as that person ages, they become suicidal. Some are stronger than others. Figuring, okay, this is going to stop. Let me see what's going to happen in my life, maybe tomorrow, next day, or so on. But the consequences of one act over a period of time, it damages that person forever. That person will never be the same again. Never.
The human heart, according to the Bible, is evil continually. That's the condition of the human heart. We don't like to inherit. And folks, we inherit that from the time you see we are babies. It's just part of it. You look at a little baby, first thing you do is rip off your eyes. That's what they want to do. Pull your nose.
They want to pull your nose.
Pull your lip.
That's not they're trying to figure out, okay, what's that?
Yeah.
They don't see their nose or their eyes, but yeah. No,
Now,
that's so cute.
a lot of us parents don't like to hear that. We see our kids as, ooh, you know what I mean? It's this little angel.
They are angels in many people's eyes.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you, they have that human nature. And if we, as the parents, do not intervene, right, and stop the behavior, at least try to control the behavior. When I say control,
your children on the way that they should
to train,
go.
exactly,
Train
because
them
the
from
human
a
heart,
very
it ain't
young
playing.
time, yes.
Okay? So when you see people get these opportunities, it's evil they want to do. And some of us, we're saying, but how could they do something like that? It's just because we were taught different. But to them, this is normal behavior.
This is normal behavior for
and some of them, I remember when I first cheated on my girlfriend. I remember that well. And she was in pain. I mean, the girl was crying. She was distraught. And I'm asking myself, what did I do? I'm asking myself that, what did I do that was so bad that she was... I at that time, that I could not understand how something like that would hurt somebody. You understand? Yeah. So a lot of us, and including those people who see that doing those things, in their minds, what's the problem? Because that's the way that they as they say, that's the way that they roll.
Not all of us are wired the same. Some individuals grew up in households, or they had acts of that sort, whether it's physical, mental, sexual abuse done to them, and that's all they know, and they do it to someone else because they figure, not that because it was done to me, but that's maybe their escape. Some people get out of it, they seek counseling, they seek help, or they tell themselves without seeking counseling or help, I know what it did to me, the damage caused to me. I will not do it to someone else. And that speaks volumes. And as you rightly said earlier, the human heart is evil. And we have to practice every single day. Every day. We all could get angry. We all could commit murder. We all could get angry. We all could commit murder.
Look, our boss come in. Yeah, our boss come in the studio.
We all could get angry. We all could commit murder. But at the same time, some people make a conscious effort on a daily basis throughout the day to say, I am not going to do this. I will be the light. And I will become a better version of myself. That way, I will not hurt someone else. Because the Bible says so. Not because the Bible says so alone, but because I want to see some other person flourish. Some people just don't think. Our actions have consequences.
Yep. Well, boy. Okay, and kind of sticking with the abuse and so on there's a World Health Organization report that came out last Wednesday concerning the issue of violence against women and girls. And they said that this thing is bad in the Americas, including the Caribbean. And they give some statistics there. Let me see. The World Health Organization said intimate partner violence remains the most common form of abuse. Intimate partner, in other words, your boyfriend. I guess maybe your husband too,
Your
right?
husband,
On your wife.
boyfriend,
Okay, intimate
girlfriend in some
partner
instances.
violence remains the most common form of abuse. Yeah, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, I guess.
Boy.
Yeah, and they say with 1 in 4 women aged 15
15.
to 49 experiencing physical or sexual violence from a partner.
Boy.
Okay, while 1 in 8 has suffered sexual violence from someone other than a partner. Young women face early risks, with 21% of those aged 15 to 19 experiencing partner violence before reaching age 20. While older women are not spared, with figures showing 23% of women aged 65 and above reporting such violence.
Did we actually hear what you said correctly? 1 in 3 women.
Mm-hmm.
Let's think about that for a minute. That's our mothers, our daughters, our sisters, our aunts, our colleagues, our female colleagues. That is happening right in our backyards. And that's heartbreaking. It's really, people need to face the truth. And that kind of violence it's preventable. It's preventable. It shouldn't continue. When people, and you brought that up earlier, power and control makes one want to do a lot of things.
Yep, exactly. And because
And we have
that heart is already evil, okay, again, if it's not brought under control, or you have systems in place to ensure, right, that you do all you can to make it very difficult for somebody to abuse a child.
Yeah,
But we just take this thing for granted. We figure we can trust.
Anyone is unacceptable.
We can trust those people.
It's never acceptable, and we have to create real systems to support victims, from educational policies to law enforcement to social services. Make these stronger.
Before we leave, when I say leave, meaning before we get into the shout-outs, let's spare a thought for the people in Vietnam. Vietnam has been having a rough time. They've been struggling with 2 typhoons. There were 2 of them that they had back to back. And now, in addition to that, they now have flooding, which is causing landslides and so on. So 90 people have died so far, and a number of people still reported missing. 186,000 homes have been damaged right across the country. And listen to this, 3 million livestock swept away. 3 million.
Whoa.
Okay? Right now, 258,000 people without power. That's up to yesterday morning. Maybe that has been I don't know, addressed. I'm not too sure. Yeah, so they said that the damage, hundreds of millions of dollars in damage in Vietnam. Let's not forget Jamaica as well.
Jamaica
right?
as well,
Because
still recovering from Hurricane
still
Melissa,
recovering.
yeah.
Alrighty. So yes, so that's it for the hard part of hard drive. So let's now get to the soft part of hard drive. All right, and while we're waiting for Kina to get the computer together, laptop together, let me just remind you that coming up at 11:30 this morning is going to be Rev Up the Homegrown. Okay, and Kina will be here until 3 this afternoon. From 3 o'clock, Zen the DJ until 5. Then from 5 o'clock, we have Mary Polius doing Powell Politic. Okay, that's what's happening for the rest of today on Rev-Up St. Lucia. Yes.
Okay, we'll start with the WhatsApp platform first. So many messages have come in. So, okay, that's a message for me. I will check it out later on. Yes, I got the email that was sent, just in case you're wondering. Someone sent that. Someone else says, why is it saying 12:31? Someone is sending a message to our platform at 12:31 a.m.
Oh, wow.
That's super cool. I'll check it out a bit later. I think that has to do with your program early on today. Would you like me to read it or just continue?
And you said they sent it at 12:31, you
no,
say?
there's another one at 9:28.
Oh, that came in?
Yeah.
Yeah. About which program? Oh, you mean the one this morning with Bax?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you like to, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could... 1 second. Person says, has Marcellus reviewed the memorandum of understanding for his alma mater considering Trump's new policies on immigration? So that's the first question. Someone requested John Antoine's song, Sweet Reggae. Okay, I'll play it when I start. Someone else sent a message and they said, youth employment is very high in St. Lucia. Scores of young men can be seen liming on the road with various within various constituencies, while there are those who stay at home sending applications yet can't yield any success. This is one of the main contributions of the rising level of crime in the country. There has been a steady rise in crime, especially homicides, over the past 4 years, a clear indication that the incumbent government has not really addressed this problem and has failed to come forward with initiatives to curb unemployment. Okay, moving on to the next one. Someone sent, Jimmy Cliff. They actually sent a screenshot, so thank you for that.
Okay.
It says he passed. Thank you so much for chiming in. Pleasant morning to you, Andre Kina. It is so bad when people believe they can keep you feeling miserable. That so-called children father I have children with, every time or often enough, whenever I'm on the phone speaking to someone, he's going to the outlet and he'll pull off the Wi-Fi box.
Gee.
I'm so sorry that you're going through this.
And I know our first response is, why didn't she just get out of the relationship? But sometimes that's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done.
Mm-hmm.
There are many reasons why someone stays in an abusive relationship. Sometimes they're not able to provide for themselves, sometimes out of fear. There are many, many reasons. So we need to provide some form of support to actually get them out of the situation so that they're able to, deal with that. And counseling as well. Someone else says, good morning, Andre. Jimmy Cliff's real name is James Chambers. Thank you so much.
James Chambers?
Yeah.
And that's
James Chambers.
James Chambers?
Yeah, that's what the person
Wow.
said.
Okay.
Well, his wife, isn't she... you said her name, Loretta? No, it wasn't Loretta. Something Chambers, you said. What was
Let me
it?
see if I get it. Latifa Chambers.
Latifa Chambers,
Uh-huh.
right. So, yeah, his name is James Chambers.
Okay. Wow. See that, huh?
Someone else says, I have not listened to another radio station in over 20 months. Is that a good thing? Jimmy Cliff is stage name. His name is James Chambers. Thank you so much. Someone says, good morning, Andre and Kiki. Blessed, beautiful sunrise to you both. You guys have a beautiful day ahead. Love always, Lorena. I am waiting patiently for you guys to come with your prizes for Christmas.
Yes, we're starting on the 8th, by the way. Okay, we're just allowing the politics thing to take its run its course, and then we'll be kicking things off. We have a nice little promo already all set up. Okay, so we're starting on the 8th of December right through until the 23rd, and we're going to having one. Well, sometimes we may have 2 or 3 prizes.
It depends.
Yeah, depending on the situation. But we will be having prizes every day, Monday to Friday until the 23rd. Okay.
Thank you. As well, Lorena, I hope you're feeling a whole lot better. We know that you are not doing too well, so sending you kisses as well. Mwah. Someone else chimed in and says, Rev up my brother and sister from another mother. I'm in the house. Bless Monday to you both. Kisses to Kina. Merci beaucoup. Thanks for the kisses. Ify Jr. is in the house, and she says, good morning, Andre and Kina. Great week ahead. She sends kisses and hearts. Thank you, Ify Jr. Wendy is in the house. She says, blessed love to Andre and Kiki. Have a wonderful, productive week. Love in the house. Thank you so much. And she says, be safe. So that's our WhatsApp platform. Moving on to our Facebook platform now. Pious Snappy, yeah man, is the first to chime in. Pious. Good morning, Sakafet. He sends hearts as well, so that's good. Thank you so much. And he went on to say, yellow is the code 100%, and he's sending laughing emojis. I guess it's something that we were saying that he sent the emojis for. Josiane Alexander Lotcher is in the house, and she says, good morning, Rev-Up family. Blessed Monday to all. John McCurdy says, blessed Monday to all, Rev-Up family. Good morning, John. Good morning to you, Josiane. Kisses to you both. Mwah. Catherine McPhee is in the house. Good morning, Catherine. Kisses. Mwah. She says, good morning, Andre and Kina. Alex Leonti says, good morning. And went on to say, I really like to hear you laugh. Thank you so much, Alex. Kisses right back. Mwah. Pearlfoot baby Henry is in the house, and she says, good morning and happy Monday to Rev-Up St. Lucia 95.5 FM. Andre and Kina and all in the chat room.
Hold your thought. I have a nice little story there as to how I was curious to know, how did Jimmy Cliff get that name?
Oh, so you were.
And it's a nice little story. Nice little story. They said by the time he was 14 years old, Chambers, James Chambers, moved to Kingston and adopted the surname Cliff, right? Headed to express the heights he intended on reaching.
Ooh,
That
and
is so
did.
cool. That's so cool.
He did.
Wow.
He did.
Oh my gosh. Whoa. You see that?
Imagine that, huh?
The man had a vision for his life. And he saw himself climbing a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we saw it. I would have never imagined that's how he got that name. So he just adopted that name.
Now we know where it came from.
Wow,
so thank you so much for
that's a
letting
nice.
us know. I appreciate it.
I did it, you know. I go look for my thing.
No, I said thank you so much for looking for it and letting us know. That's what I said. What did you
I thought you were thanking somebody else.
No, you. I said thank you
Okay,
so much.
thank you very much.
Do that with your chest again. Put that out. I love to see that. I love it. Do it again.
One day. But that's such a cool story.
That's such a cool story, though.
My
he had a
gosh.
vision for his life, and he took on that name.
Wow, that is amazing.
And really accomplished great things.
You see that? Boy, I tell you what, nothing beats a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing beats a dreamer.
Nothing.
And you know, dreaming costs us nothing, to do. Right? Just dream. And the thing about the dream, it propels you. That's what it does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're really serious, I'm talking about it. If you're not just joking around and just messing around, but you start to dream. And I say dream, you just, those moments when you're lying on your bed and you're not in a sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're awake, right? And you're meditating on your life and your future and what you'd like to see and so on. That thing is so powerful, but very few of us do it.
Very few of us do it.
Yeah, very few of us do it.
For some, they do have a dream, but the process it takes to get there at some point in time, me, I ain't doing that. That's too frustrating.
But I tell you, if you're serious, if you're serious, the fact that you're dreaming it, you will now want to put forth the effort to make sure it comes to reality.
Right.
Wow. Oh, man.
Woohoo.
Oh, anyway, okay, let's move on.
James Chambers. I never knew. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing that research for us. I appreciate you. Barbara Augustine says, a wonderful morning, River family. May the Almighty God give us strength to face another day. Missing TP.
Indeed,
Thank
of course,
you so
of
much.
course. And let me just remind our listeners that we're going to be continuing with Tony's voice on that ad there for North South Enterprises. I want to say big up to North South Enterprises because I called management and I said to them, would you mind continuing the ad until December 31st? So they said, sure, without even thinking twice. Sure, no problem. So on December 31st, that'll be the last day we're going to be hearing Tony's voice here on Rev-Up. And as I said, we have to move on.
Yeah.
Okay? We have to move on.
Yeah. Lilia Victor also chimed in and she says, good morning, everyone. Sharon Peter says, good morning to my favorite station.
Thank you. Thank you.
Josie Stephen, you're in the wrong chat, but thank you for chiming in. But your words, no, we don't do that on Rev-Up St. Lucia's Facebook page. Someone else chimed in and says, good morning, folks. Today is the birthday of the following persons: Miss Catherine Cauldron, Joseph, aka Mabumpa. I hope I said it correctly. Mabumpa. Did I say that correctly? Arthur also went on to say, Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack, former Governor General, and Senator Fortuna Belrose. They're celebrating their birthday today.
Who celebrated birthday?
Catherine Cauldron Joseph, aka Mobumpa. I hope I said it correctly. Sir Emmanuel Neville Snack is another celebrating his birthday today. And who is the former Governor General, and Senator Fortuna.
How old is Mr. Snack today?
Maybe in his 80s, I guess.
Okay.
Late 70s, 80s. I'm not sure. Salette Dupre's in the house, and she says, sorry, Salette, my bad.
She said, she chub.
No, that's Salette Dupre. Oh!
Folks, black and white.
I know. She said, "Good day, all blessings, now and always. Have a productive week, everyone." Thank you so much, Salet. Martha Sharp is in the house. Lovely Kina, we're still waiting. Waiting?
Well, maybe a visit or something from you?
Me? Maybe a song.
I don't know. Did you say that to them? No?
Did I say I was going to visit?
I know. I'm just just
If
speculating.
I did and I haven't visited, I
no,
can't
no, it's just
remember.
speculating. I just
Oh.
speculated.
Maybe it's a song.
Maybe. I wonder if it could be the thing by
Alan
Alan
Jackson?
Jackson. Have you played that song
No,
as
it
yet?
wasn't for
Let
her.
It Be Christmas? Have you played it?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe that then.
But it wasn't Christmas.
Yeah. I'm just
I
saying
actually
maybe
have a note.
maybe it's that. Maybe.
I think that's what it is.
You see that?
Grant. I think that's
You
what
must
it is.
keep your promises, Kina.
No, but
keep your
sometimes
promises.
I get so many requests.
No, Pamela.
No, but what happened was, Martha, if it's the song Alan Jackson, I actually have a note saying that I haven't played the song so that I will play it. Any song that I don't play on a particular day because of time, I keep a note and I play it the
Oh, that's
following
good.
day or
That's
something.
good.
I always keep
Very
a note
good.
of all the requests. If I don't get to play it one day, then it rolls over
To another
into
day.
Another day. or
Okay.
another day.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, nothing wrong with a little reminder.
Thank you so much for the reminder. Veronica Bryan says, "Good morning, everyone."
Morning to you.
And that's the last person to chime in on our Facebook platform.
Okay.
Yep.
So, anything for what's up?
What's that? We're done.
Oh, done. Hey,
We're
that was
done.
fast today.
We're
Oh my
done.
gosh. Wow. Okay. So, what do you have coming up on your show today?
11:30 to 12:30 p.m. It's Rev Up the Homegrown. I think last week we had John Antoine and also Ras Leo.
Just hold that thought, huh? John Antoine's song, Just Say Hallelujah. A lot of people like that song.
Oh yeah, a lot.
Yes.
a lot of people.
And it's such a cool song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It gives you that pick me up that you need during the course of the
Yes,
day
yes,
when
yes.
it plays. Just
And he has a new song,
Hallelujah.
right?
He has one, Sweet Reggae, and listeners have been requesting it on our platform as well.
So
that's
good job,
another
John
Yeah.
Antoine. Just say hallelujah.
Yeah.
And let me just take the opportunity to big up the late Tony Paul. If he's listening somewhere, I don't know.
He's right here.
Yes. That's his creation, the
Rev Up
top
the
10 homegrown. That's Tony's creation, as well as the Rev Up the Homegrown. These are Tony's creations. Okay? So, I mean, that's what you call stepping outside the box, that particular show.
Yes.
Okay? And if you notice now, a lot of artists now are producing music, a lot more music, which is a good thing. So we have the charts there.
We have the charts there. Because even
assist.
last week when Echo, I interviewed them, was it Friday?
Yeah.
Friday. And they looked across and they're like, whoa. They were so impressed that we actually had the charts.
Yeah.
And we had the countdown on there, right there in studio. They were very, very impressed. So, Tony, wherever you are, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We still love you and we miss you.
And the interview was a lot about St. Cecilia's, right?
St. Cecilia and Echo. Yeah, and music rights and so on.
Yes, I heard them talking about the writers and so on. I think they have more to do with the writers, yes?
The writers and
creatives?
the producers, not the
Right.
singers.
Not the singers.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder if so what happens? So what happens to the singers now? What happens?
Well, the singers do get paid performance fees and so on. So they mentioned that as well.
Okay. So
But
that's where they make the money.
yes, that's how they make their money.
Yeah, but the writers,
But
the
they
writers.
represent the writers and so on. Yeah.
Okay, so that's what it's really all about. I thought it was more like the singers. So it's actually because when I heard the interview, I said, hey, so
Most of the singers don't write this. Well, though we have a few in St. Lucia who do write and produce, but some of the singers don't really write their music. They just,
So I imagine, say you have an artist maybe who writes maybe one song in a lifetime. Maybe they might probably get $10 at the end of the year.
they might not only performance fees.
Because remember,
if they
no,
write, right?
yeah.
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
they wrote
yes.
one song.
One song.
Maybe.
Yeah. So that's why.
Maybe a little $10.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow,
Depending on whether the song gets played,
that too.
then you have to filter in streaming platforms and so on. And yeah,
It's tough, boy. It's a tough industry.
we hear the singers, we see the singers and everything, and we love the singers. But all the work, most of the time, well, not 99% of the time, is what happens in the background.
Yeah, because if you look at, for example, in Hollywood, the producers of, say, for example, the movie, you have a blockbuster. they're the ones who make all the money. I mean, the actors get paid.
The actors get
Get
paid,
but
they do.
nothing compared to the people who pump all the dollars into those things there. Oh my God, and they have to pay, they have to spend a lot of money
A lot.
to produce it.
A lot.
Wow. But anyway, okay, well, let's hope at some point that there will be some kind of organization representing the performers now. Yeah, the performers of the songs. Oh, okay. All right.
And as well, I'm going to touch on Gaston Brown. He's warning that Trump that U.S. Venezuelan tensions is threatening Caribbean stability. So
Yep.
he's one of the leaders in the Caribbean now chiming in and saying, hey, this should not be happening within our waters. We are a region of peace. So he's been chiming in on that.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But, is that reaching anywhere? That's the problem. Yes, it's true. We need to speak out, and
Yeah.
maybe other Caribbean leaders should be doing the same thing. But remember what the Bahamas National Security Minister said? Yes, it's true. We can make some noise, but he says at the end of the day, what can we do? Is this Goliath that's there?
Yeah.
It's Goliath, and there's not a David to stand up there at
To
all.
stand up.
Yeah, there's not. That doesn't right now in our world today. That it doesn't exist. But it's really sad, that President Trump is taking advantage of all the power and so on that
That he
the US has. So those people who are always saying, "Oh, presidents don't have any power; they control by interest groups and things like that." I think Donald Trump is proving that here's somebody.
Yeah, he's very powerful based on everything that's been happening.
He's doing his own thing.
He's doing his own
Like
thing.
he pa melee boy. What?
Oh, we'll see how long that lasts.
Exactly. Because remember, in the process, he's hurting a lot of people.
With power comes great responsibility, and if you use that power to inflict pain on others, it's only a matter of time.
As I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
you do it deliberately.
Yeah.
You hurting people. Nah, man. Your end will not be nice. Okay. So all I can say to him, carry on.
And I'll talk on what scientists are now saying about stress on your body. And they're saying that sometimes stress shows up in different ways. The racing of your heart, the tightening of the chest, your mind not shutting off. And these are the things. It could really affect you over a long period of time. We've heard instances of people developing maybe high blood pressure after years of stress, or even diabetes that's something else that people develop. And when you go back to their history, then I know of one individual, he passed some years ago, and he was not someone that constantly ate sweet things or drank alcohol or any, but he was unemployed for a number of years, and he was constantly stressed. And eventually he developed diabetes, and he just didn't know how to handle no matter what he did, and he passed. So stress affects our bodies in so many different ways, and we don't really think about it. We don't take that into consideration, our heightened levels of anxiety and the people in our lives that are contributing to the levels of stress as well. I try to, I'm like, you're at home and your partner or your children sometimes, they're constantly doing
The kids
things.
you can forgive.
The kids you can
You can
forgive.
but you have an adult.
Up to a certain age though.
Yeah, of course, I agree. I agree. That's why I said kids.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. So, yeah.
That could affect us in so many ways, man.
Well, Kina boy, listen, when you say
Boy.
those things here, when I hear you speaking certain times, I say, what boy, miss say, I thought I was wrong. You know what I mean? When I hear you saying those things, like what you just said there about people, bringing stress and so on into your life, didn't realize what
They don't
they're
realize
doing.
what they're doing. If somebody's having a good day, you just want to mess it
Yeah.
up just because you figure you could mess it up because
Yeah.
you want control.
Or maybe because your day ain't going too well.
Yeah. Now that affects that person, and not only that person, it affects you as well. Makes you become a very bitter person. Maybe later on in your life, your face gonna look like a washing machine. I took that part from someone else. I heard it yesterday, and it's true. You see people walking around, and they so, boy, the look on their faces, it looked like distorted everything, and you wonder, but hey, what was happening to you? You know?
Yeah, that is true. But I'm very happy when I hear you speak like that, Kina, right? Because generally, people don't like to hear those things from men. When men are talking, they just dismiss it. When a lady speaks like that, I was taken aback last week when you said about you like your space.
Oh well,
I was taken aback by that.
Hey, my space.
Yeah, some people feel that as though because you're that way, it's something you're doing or something you want to do. I was taken aback when you said you like your space.
It's important
and I know a
for
lot
you
of other
to-
people who like it too. But what they do, they don't say it.
They don't say it for fear that they're judged or people will say
Yeah.
"Hey, you have a problem man, or
Yeah.
you're crazy or something. Or,
Or it's something you want to do.
Something you want to do, yeah.
So don't say, they just put up with it. Oh my gosh, I could just imagine what they're going through.
No, and I have a tendency to say when people speak of that in that manner, that's you. And I take myself out of it. Don't put me and you in the same bracket, and don't try to put everyone in the same bracket as you. You might be that way, some other person might not be, and that's important for us to remember. Whilst we're busy judging someone else, focus on you, not anybody else. You.
Yeah, and if you don't like certain things about your potential partner, do not accept the relationship. Don't even start it.
Don't start
Especially if you know this is how the person feels, and you know you can't deal with certain things about the person's character, their behavior. And it could be good, it could be bad. But if you can't deal with it, it doesn't make sense staying there. You're making yourself miserable and the other person
And
unhappy.
there are other factors associated with that as well. People go into relationships knowing fully well, I don't like that person's character, but the person is providing me financial stability. You get, okay, you're being provided with for financial stability, but then you become a nag in the person's ear. You become a monster in that house. But you want that stability, but you're creating a ripple effect in other ways. It is wrong.
Exactly.
Why can't you want the stability? You go find ways for you to be stable on your own. No, this is and it goes back to people deliberately doing things. So you're deliberately getting involved with someone because that's solely what I want from you. And that's not a cool thing.
Yep.
Yeah, so... And
Coming from a lady, I really hope it reaches on the ears of certain people, and that they take what you're saying seriously.
I hope it does.
Yes.
We spoke about Venezuela earlier, and Donald Trump, based on recent reports that have been circulating on social media and in the news as well, he's planning a leaflet drop over Venezuela. A move they're saying to, it's like an
Clear the way.
ongoing, or yeah.
Clear the
So
way.
pretty much, I guess what might be in that leaflet is pretty much
Oh,
saying,
my
hey,
God.
this is what we want. Anybody who could bring Maduro to us, there's going to be a reward. I'm assuming
Maybe that's part
what's
of it.
going to be on
or,
that.
or telling people to get out of harm's way.
That too.
That could
That
be
too.
the other thing.
That too.
Because Michel will be bringing on that fleet there in the Caribbean waters there just for sport. He has a plan, right? And he already said that Maduro's days are numbered. He said so already. But the thing is, you can't be doing those things, right? This guy doesn't have permission from Congress to do what he's doing there. He's
still doing
He's
it.
still doing it. And it seems to be some kind of, I guess maybe the Congress is dominated by the Republicans, so they're just allowing him to do what he wants to do, right? So this is wrong. With the bombing of those, the bombing of those fishing vessels and so on. Their own laws in America make it clear. You don't do those things. You take people in. That's why you have a system. You have laws. You have a judicial system. You have the court system. That's why they set up. You can't be operating outside the confines of your own laws.
Yeah.
So, all right. Listen, the most powerful country in the world, the United States of America, blessed beyond measure. That's what y'all are doing? Hegseth, the what's his position again? Whatever, defense secretary. The man is shameless. The man comes on and shows you what he's doing. He actually broadcasts the thing so everybody can see it. May not even thinking one day he may be taken before the Hague. They're thinking like that. They're thinking as though they're invincible.
In the moment, this is what's
You mean to
happening.
say this
I
is
need
how
to prove,
the
I
most
need to
powerful country in the world is behaving like that? Acting like the way you get the gangs acting, the same gangs that they say that they are terrorists and so on. That's how they're acting, like a gang of fellas, a gang of well, I wouldn't say that. But that's how they're acting. That's how fellas in gangs behave. You're just going to just take people out without proof, without evidence.
I could do
nothing.
whatever I want.
The most powerful country in the world. That's how you're behaving. It's shameful. And they don't care. They so don't care that they actually show you what they're doing with pride. Look at it. Here's what we're doing. We're just killing people, black is white.
International Criminal Court.
Don't worry.
Leader.
One
At
day.
some point in
One
time,
day.
Let's see what happens.
One day.
You've spoken about that several times, about other leaders and the world leaders that have now faced it.
That's
And
right.
you've
They
been
never
saying,
thought,
hey, they never thought
that would ever happen to them.
It would ever happen. So it happened. And as well, I will touch on the underdogs amongst us, because we have many, because a new study is turning assumptions about success on its head. Pretty much they're saying that many families, we have siblings with lower grades in schools, and they're saying that siblings with lower grades in schools are more likely to be successful later on in life, because they're very resilient. They go after their dreams, and they know, hey, I may not have had the grades, I struggled in school, but this is where I want to go, and they went for it.
That
and
may
they're
be
not stopping.
that may be true.
Yeah,
That may
I
be
think
true.
that is true.
Just yesterday, I was speaking with a businessman, right? I reminded him. I said to him, we went to school together, okay? And today he's he for the most part a successful businessman. And listen, we had a lot. About 2 hours we were talking yesterday, because that's the first time we ever got together since we left school. Let me tell you, as a student, he wasn't doing well at all. Right?
Yeah.
I think he probably even quit school earlier. He wasn't doing well. He and academics, they just didn't go well together. But up to yesterday, he said to me, see things like computers and so on, and I don't know anything about that. And the man have a massive business in St. Lucia. Massive. He took me to another one of his businesses yesterday, because he wants to do some advertising with Rev-Up. He took me to another of his businesses yesterday, showing me what he has accomplished.
He had a vision.
And the man, his IQ is very, very low. I hope you're not listening.
It should be like success pretty much is
What?
not measured by grades, but sometimes the one who struggled early ends up rewriting the rules of achievement. And in that case, that's what happened with him. And what they're also saying is that top performing siblings or individuals in our society, they often follow traditional career paths. And if we have to look at it closely, that's exactly what's happening.
The man told me he was with his wife, and he said to her, because he was doing menial jobs, because I said to you, he wasn't all that great, right? Academically, I'm talking about. And he said to his wife, he's looking at himself, and I say, I cannot continue like that. I cannot continue like that, right? I want something more out of life. I want to be my own boss. That's what he said. And today the man is exactly what he said. The man took me on a tour of his place yesterday, showing me all kinds of things. He's added this and that, and the man showed me the number of vehicles he has outside. I say, what? You accomplished all of that? Amazing. Amazing.
He struggled, he rewrote his life.
Amazing.
And that's what he did.
What?
And he rewrote the rules of achievement for him and his life.
Bravo. And pretty soon, we'll be doing some business together. Yeah, that's right, man.
Yeah,
all right.
So that and more is all coming up on the Rev-Up Center. But 11:30 to 12:30 p.m., Rev-Up the Home Grow.
And let me just remind our listeners, and our viewers, life is very, very short. We just get, as after it's shot again, we only get one shot. Right? There's no two opportunities. We have this one chance there between the time we are born and maybe our 60s, somewhere around there, because after that it's just all downhill. In fact, science showing you by the time you reach 40, it's all downhill, at that point in time, health-wise.
Why out?
Yeah.
That's where it stops.
Exactly.
You realize, hey, I can't run like I used to. I'm trying to get off the bed, and I'm taking a little bit longer.
Tell me about it.
Then your eyesight
starts to fade.
Yeah, so many things come in by the time you hit 40.
And we get that little one shot, and boy, we get so used to things, and we waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right? We waste time hurting people. Right, especially that one. We do a lot of that one.
Wasting time, hurting people,
and bringing blight on ourselves. Won't you please, folks, if you can do yourself a little favor, please, do not hurt people deliberately. It's one of the worst things that we can do. I can tell you that. Try to stop that. So when you do that now, you are bringing blight upon yourself. A lot of bad luck is going to come into your life. Right? Life is already so hard. Things normally work out the other way. It always goes left. Most time, and imagine we are adding to the way things are set up already.
That same,
right? Try and do things that are nice, things that are right, right? Things that are moral and love people, love your friends, love your family. Don't try to be hurting people, because when you get to that 60s and 70s, there's nothing much you can do at that point in time there.
You could do nothing.
There's nothing much you can do. You only got one shot.
And sometimes, most times, someone else will be taking care of you.
And the
when
thing is
that
now,
happens,
and the thing is, sometimes because of the way you live your life, not even that you'll get.
that too.
Okay, somebody now has to come. Maybe you're lucky. They probably come there, pass there, drop one two little a bread for you, and then now you have to get to the point where you have to end up going to a nursing home. You've alienated yourself from your friends, from your family, your children, your girlfriend or your wife, and things like that. You alienate yourself, right? You have nothing to do with them because you figure as though I'm king, especially when things are working out okay. Right?
And
thinking
even,
it'll last
even
forever.
with individuals having family conflict, they have a tendency to pull themselves away to protect themselves from so many different things. But we all have to go back to, you might know better and that family member might not. You have to get to a stage, as you said earlier, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know better. So for a while, you may have been in this place in your life, hurting or not listening to your mom or dad or whatever it may be. And at some point in time, you're like, but wait a minute, I spent so many years doing.
That's
and
right.
then you have this aha moment. And we have the tendency to judge. Most importantly, the thing that works, no matter how long it takes, is prayer. We have to constantly be praying for our family members, our siblings, even on the job as well. Because when you keep judging, you're allowing pain and anger and everything to take root, as opposed to saying to yourself, okay, I may be better off than that individual. I may know better, but that individual might not. And just pray and leave it there and continue praying and leaving it there, and still being that light in whatever situation it may be, because that's what the Bible says, no matter what's happening.
Okay, I'm talking about leaving things. I have to leave you now. I have overstayed my welcome. So, folks, please stay with Kina. She'll be with you until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Then my beloved son, who I'm well pleased, will be here from 3 until 5. Then, of course, from 5 until 6, we have Mary Polius with Powell Politic. God willing, I shall be back here from 5 o'clock to assist. You know, these days, Kina, people think I'm a host of the program, you know. Well, they're addressing me every time they call now. They're addressing me. Oh, gee. All right. Okay, Kina, so have yourself a great day.
Have yourself a wonderful
Our listeners,
day.
our viewers, have yourself a great day. Have yourself a productive day. This has been Hard Drive, brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Rambali's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support,
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Rambali's,
we care.
Rev-Up St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Gas-Free St. Lucia. Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at revupslu.com. Call the studio at 572